Joy landed with a thud and groaned as she rode down the long, steep hill into the shadows filled with faded memories. When she finally stopped, she looked around, confused, trying to figure out where she was. She hugged the bag of cool memories tightly. All the memories were still inside. Then she looked up at the ledge high above her. Suddenly she knew where she was, the memory dump. She couldn't believe how far she had fallen. She frantically ran up the steep mountain, trying to climb it, but came crashing back down. She tried again and again, but each time she tumbled right back down to the bottom. A short distance away, Bing Bong was looking down at his hand. It was beginning to fade. Oh no, he said. He ran off to find Joy. When he finally reached her, Joy was still trying to claw her way up the mountain. Joy, what are you doing? Bing Bong asked. Would you stop, please? But Joy ignored him and continued trying to scale the cliff. Don't you get it, Joy? We're stuck down here. We're forgotten. Joy stopped in her tracks, feeling the pain of Bing Bong's words. She looked down at her feet and watched as the memories around her faded and disappeared. A short distance away lay the blue cool memory of Riley crying in class. Her heart breaking, Joy fell to her knees as tears began to run down her face. She tried to focus on the old happy memories of young Riley. Remember how she used to stick her tongue out when she was coloring? Joy said longingly. She continued to flit through old memories, watching and remembering happier times. I could listen to her stories all day, she said, watching one of 3-year-old Riley talking to a bug. Joy finally picked up the blue cool memory. She couldn't believe how miserable Riley was. I just wanted Riley to be happy, and now, feeling truly hopeless, Joy cried even harder. One of Joy's tears fell onto the sphere that contained the faded memory of the twisted tree. Joy wiped the tear away, and it accidentally rewound the memory, and the color of the sphere changed from gold to blue. In the memory, Riley sat in the tree with her parents as the team approached in the distance. Joy looked closer and closer. Then she used her hand to rewind the memory farther. She remembered what Sadness had said. It was the day the prairie dog lost the big playoff game. Riley missed the winning shot. She felt awful. She wanted to quit. Joy watched as the hockey team surrounded Riley in the twisted tree, and suddenly she realized Mom and Dad, the team, they had come to help because of Sadness. Joy turned to Bing Bong with renewed energy. She knew what had to be done. We have to get back up there, she said, determined. Bing Bong looked at her sadly. Joy, we are stuck down here forever. We might as well be on another planet. Another planet, Joy said thoughtfully. That gave her an idea. What about taking Bing Bong's rocket ship to the moon? She started to sing his theme song. Bing Bong's eye lit up as she understood the plan, and he joined her in song. As the melody drifted across the dump, off in the distance, Bing Bong's rocket answered back by binging and bonging. Joy and Bing Bong ran toward the sound and found the rocket. they could fly out the dump. They pulled the rocket wagon up one of the big mountains. "Hop in," Joey shouted, and they both climbed inside. Bing Bong pushed it up and they sang their hearts out. The song powered the rocket as it sped down the mountain. When it reached the bottom, it shot up the next hill, launching into the air. Joey reached for the high ledge above the dump, but they weren't even close. They crashed it back down. "Come on," Joey said, ready to try again. They took the wagon up another mountain, singing even louder now. But again they fell short of the ledge and dropped back into the dump. The rocket just didn't have enough power. Bing Bong looked down at his hand and noticed that it was disappearing. "Come on, Joey," he said, reaching out to help her stand. "One more time. I've got a feeling about this one." They took the wagon up the mountain and sang once again. "Louder," yelled Bing Bong. "Louder, Joey, sing louder." When they reached the base of the mountain, Bing Bong dove out the wagon, but Joey didn't notice. Without his additional weight, the wagon had plenty of momentum. Bing Bong watched as Joey and the wagon soared into the air. "We're going to make it," Joey shouted as she flew closer and closer to the ledge. "The rocket made it," Joey cried. "Bing Bong, we did it, we." Joey turned around and gasped, "Bing Bong?" Joey hurried to the edge and looked over the side. Bing Bong was down at the bottom, laughing and dancing. "You made it. Go save Riley. Take her to the moon for me, okay?" Bing Bong waved and vanished. "I'll try, Bing Bong," Joey said, hanging her head. "I promise." When Riley's parents came home, they were surprised to find that she wasn't there. "I will call her cell," said Mom. Riley's cell phone rang as she walked through the street of San Francisco. She looked down at who was calling. "It's Mom, she's on to us." "Where's my bag?" asked Fear, looking for his paper bag. He felt as if he was about to hyperventilate. "What do we do?" asked Disgust. "Riley needs to get core memories." "We keep going," said Anger. Riley ignored the call, put the phone in her pocket, and continued to walk toward the bus station. Joey frantically ran through the aisle of long-term memory, searching for sadness as Family Island began to break apart behind her. "Come on, Sadness, where are you?" "Okay, if I was Sadness, where would I be?" Joey looked around and imagined being Sadness. "Oh, everything is awful, and my legs don't work, and you have to drag me around while I touch all the..." Joey said, imitating her. She slumped to the ground and kicked her leg up in the air. Then she saw something, a trail of blue memories on the bottom shelves. Joey follows the trail. Meanwhile, Riley had made it to the station and was standing in line to get on the bus. Her cell phone rang. It was Mom again. Her phone read 15 missed calls from Mom. "Oh, it's Mom again," said Fear. "What do we do?" He began to breathe faster into his bag. Boom! Family Island rumbled behind them. It was the only island still standing. "This is madness. She shouldn't run away," said Anger. "Let's get this idea out of her head," said Disgust. Fear and Anger agreed. and the three rushed to the console to unplug the idea. Joy was still searching for sadness in long-term memory, following the trail of blue memories. Sadness, she called. Sadness turned around. Joy. She was surprised to see her, but she couldn't face her. She ran away. Wait, shouted Joy. Just let me go. Sadness called, still running. Worley's better off without me. Joy chases Sadness into imagination land. Sadness toppled flies from French fly forest into Joy paths to slow her down. Come back, yelled Joy. Then she used a super long flight to pole vault over the mound of fallen flies. She tried to follow close behind Sadness, but lost her in Cloud Town. Suddenly, a shadow passed over Joy, causing her to look up. Sadness was flying overhead on a chunk of cloud, away from headquarters. What? Sadness, Joy called. I only made everything worse, Sadness cried as she drifted farther away. Wait, Sadness, we've got to get you back to... Joy chased after her, but Cloud was moving too fast. Joy didn't know how she was going to catch up with Sadness until suddenly. Her eyes fell on the imaginary boyfriend generator. Inside headquarters, anger struggled as she tried to untwist the idea bulb from the console. It's stuck, he shouted. Oh, great, said disgust. What do you mean it's stuck? Said fear, reaching out to try. Now what? Asked disgust. Then the console started to shut down. A strange blackness slowly crept across the console, like a dark, scary bulb. What is this? Cried Fear. Nobody knew. Worley stepped onto the bus, thinking the idea bulb was making the console shut down. Fear struggled with it, but it wouldn't budge. He even tried using a crowbar. As Fear strained to pry it out, he lost control, and the crowbar whacked him in the face. Make her feel scared, urged Disgust. That will make her change her mind. Fear frantically pushed buttons and pulled the lever on the mostly black console, but nothing worked. Guys, he said, turning his gaze to disgust and anger. We can't make Riley feel anything.